A 38-day strike by workers of the Samsung India Electronics factory at Sriperumbudur near Chennai has finally ended. What led to the strike and how did the Tamil Nadu government bungle in handling this industrial dispute? Vanakkam. This is T. Suresh Kumar. Thank you for joining me in this episode of the Hindu Focus Tamil Nadu. Workers of the Samsung India Electronics factory at Sriperumbudur have returned to work after being on a strike for 38 days. They were demanding better wages, working conditions, and recognition for the union. This decision to end the strike followed a tripartite meeting where an agreement was reached between the workers, the management, and the Labour Department of the Tamil Nadu government. The management has agreed not to victimize any worker just because he or she had participated in the strike. Likewise, the management has agreed to file its written reply to a charter of demands filed by the workers before the conciliation officers. On their part, the workers have agreed to resume work and also extend full cooperation to the Samsung management, besides not indulging in any act that is prejudicial to the interest of the factory as such. Thus, an issue that threatened to disturb the industrial climate in Tamil Nadu, as well as destabilize the political alliance led by the DMK, has been resolved for now. Now, Samsung has two factories in India, one at Noida and one in Sriperumbudur, closer to Chennai. The factory in Sriperumbudur was established in 2007, and till date, the company does not have a recognized union. Against this backdrop, some of the workers came together and decided to launch a trade union called the Samsung India Workers Union. This union had the backing of at least two-thirds of the 1,800 workforce of the Samsung factory at Sriperumbudur. This union was affiliated to the CITU, that is the Center of Indian Trade Unions, which is the labor wing of the Communist Party of India, Marxist. The union was essentially to act as a platform for collective bargaining for better wages and improved working conditions in the company. However, the Samsung management refused to recognize this union. It did not want an outside political force to be part of the union. Besides, the company had objected to the usage of its name, Samsung, as part of the name of the union. It said that this constituted a violation of its trademark. The CITU leaders, however, pointed out that even in South Korea, the headquarters of Samsung, the union was called as the National Samsung Electronics Union, and therefore the company could have no objection to usage of its name as part of the union in India. The Tamil Nadu Labour Commissioner refused to register the Samsung India Workers Union. This led to resentment among the workers, and eventually they decided to go on a strike on September 9th. Before going on a strike, they had given due notice to the company more than a month earlier. The workers' strike coincided with the festive season. That is when the Indians purchase a lot of household goods, including refrigerators, air conditioners, and televisions, which are manufactured at the Samsung factory as well. The Union Labour Minister Mansukh Mandavia then wrote to the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin asking him to swiftly resolve this crisis. That is when the Chief Minister decided to assign a three-member ministerial delegation the task of holding talks with the management and the labourers. This delegation, which also comprised the Industries Minister T.R.B. Raja, held talks with the Samsung management and workers. And earlier this month, the government declared that a truce has been reached. The government said a memorandum of agreement has been signed between the Samsung management and what it called as the Workmen Committee for implementing better wages and incentives besides better working conditions at the factory. The CITU was not pleased with this development. It pointed out that it was not involved in signing this agreement. It said a workmen committee cannot replace a union, and that this committee, according to it, was controlled by the company, and only a union could facilitate collective bargaining in the welfare of the workers. And therefore, the workers continued their strike. And as I said earlier, more than two-thirds of the company's workforce was on a strike. The state government, on its part, argued that it cannot recognize or register the trade union of the CITU because the matter was sub judice. Going a step further, the police began cracking down on the protesting workers. The police not only removed the tent where the workers had assembled for several days to carry on their strike, but also they were seen boarding MTC buses and singling out Samsung workers, asking them to disembark. Besides, they also arrested a few workers, and all these clearly did not go down well with the working class. These actions of the government indicated that it had mishandled the labor dispute. Perhaps it had treated a labor dispute as a law and order issue when the workers were actually on a peaceful protest without disturbing the public or without causing any internal disturbances within the Samsung factory. The CITU leaders accused the three ministers of behaving as if they were spokespersons of Samsung company. Besides, they accused the government of delegating the rights of the labor commissioner to register a union to the court. The poor handling of the labor dispute led to the DMK being isolated among its allies. All the allies of the ruling party backed the workers, and so did the AIDMK, PMK, and other parties. The DMK found support only from the BJP. There were clear signs that emerged which pointed to the working class being felt let down by the DMK government. Voices of protest were increasing. People who held neutral opinions objected to the manner in which the government handled the whole issue. And this is when the DMK government realized that it cannot antagonize the working class, and the chief minister once again asked the three ministers to ensure that the issue was resolved peacefully. Eventually, the government conducted fresh talks, and this time it involved the CITU in the negotiation process. And it was at one such tripartite meeting involving the CITU, the other workers' organizations, the Samsung management, and the Labour Department on October 15th that a truce was finally reached and an agreement was signed between all parties, agreeing to implement certain issues and also not to victimize workers who participated in the strike. All this led to the CITU finally calling off the strike and agreeing to rejoin duty. This is in fact the second time that the MK Stalin government has been forced to change track on issues involving laborers and the working class. In April last year, the government had adopted a bill to amend the Tamil Nadu Factories Act. This bill provided for enabling certain sections of factories to adopt flexible working hours, which means the workers could be asked to work beyond the mandated 8 hours. Eventually, after strong opposition from its allies, the government was forced to put this law on hold and decide not to act on it. The ruling DMK, which proclaims to be committed to the welfare of the working class, must realize that Tamil Nadu has been a pioneer in the trade union movement. In fact, the first trade union in the country, the Madras Labour Union, was registered in Tamil Nadu. It was formed against the backdrop of a very strong strike at the Binni mills. This had eventually led to the enactment of the Trade Unions Act 1926. 98 years later, labor issues and issues concerning labor welfare remains a contentious one. Hopefully, the government would deal any such labor dispute in a better manner in the coming years. On that note, this is D. Suresh Kumar signing off. I shall meet you in another video. Thank you.